The film stars showing a construction engineer named John. He used to be dissatisfied with his marital life because he and his wife used to get into arguments. They had a little boy who was worried by their parents' behavior. John thinks while working on his construction site that it is his son's birthday. He plans to reconcile with his wife. Returning to his house, he will try not to fight again so their son may lead a happy life. Now he returns to his house after completing his work perfectly. He reconciles with his wife as he had planned. Seeing it, their son gets excited. Who is one who does not want to see their parents together? They all are sitting together, then TV broadcasts the news. They are broadcasting there that many comets are going to fall into the world. All are worried. One comet has entered the Bermuda region. Now it resulted the earthquakes. John immediately checks going out of the house. Then there is instantly shaky wave which causes John's fall. Even the flying birds in the air were also feeling fear. They were flying in the different directions. Even though their house glass are also cracked, they all are very feared that the falling of one comet is creating a great loss. It means that it is not the false spread news but the fact. We will have to take care one another. Then a message is received again in John's cell phone, and also that recording, the TV also shows the same message, which is also read there by other people. They say, "What justice is this? Why has your family only been chosen for emergency sheltering? Are we not human beings?" Those people leave the house of John saying ill for him. Now John and his family begin to pack their luggage. John's son suffers from diabetes, so they also keep his insulin, and they begin to drive away from their house. Then a lady appears before them. She is their neighbor, and she beseeches them, lifting her daughter, "Kindly take her along with you. I don't want that she may die with us." But they could not bring anyone with them in such a way, because they were forbidden to bring anyone along with them. It may be the worst thing if that little kid left there while going. Anyhow, they reached the evacuation site, from where they had to board for sheltering. There were many aeroplanes through which they were going to depart. Now they also stand along with all other people.
Then John remembers that his son's insulin has left in the car. He instructs to his wife, "Board the plane, I come back after taking the insulin." But John does not return, even a long time is passed. So John's wife starts to say the officers as being confused. "My husband had gone to take the medicine of my son, but he did not yet returned back. Kindly wait for him." John returns back when he finds out the medicine there. He begins to call his wife and son, but there is no one. He thinks that they may have boarded in the aeroplane, because I had asked them to board the plane, so he also enters the aeroplane. But he is finding his wife and son nowhere, so he begins to search for them but of no avail. So he takes his seat, thinking they may be in the different direction and reach here while searching. When a man in plane notices John holding the medicine box, he asks, "Is it your medicine?" John replies, "No, it is of my son." That man asks, "How did you come here with this medicine box? They are all stopping all patients outside." John gets worried, thinking my son is also a patient and he will surely be banned. He tries to leave the plane, but passengers stop him, saying neither anyone leave the aeroplane nor board. The seats of the aeroplane have filled. The people out of the plane are got aggressive hearing it. "We are not being allowed to board, even we hardly reach here. Are our lives not important?" Then officers start firing to control the mass. On the other side, John's wife was requesting the officers that, "Let me go. My husband has been waiting for me there. He is a great construction engineer and an automated message of government was received by him." But the jet fuel catches fire because of the police firing.
But he's not getting a glimpse of them anywhere. When he comes to his car thinking they may not get in their car, he finds the stuck note on the car. He feels relaxation reading it. Thankfulness. "My son and wife are safe." Contrarily, John's wife and son are seen, who are moving to a store. Some people full of rage begin to fire them as they enter the store, but they both escape from there, rescuing themselves. Coming outside, they witness a vehicle. John's wife requests to a person seated in the car, "Let us get in, take us to a location." So that person makes them sit in the car. Now the conversation starts between them.
them. John's wife tells him, "We had to board the plane for the emergency sheltering, but they are worst and they did not allow my son to board the aeroplane because he is diabetic patient." She reveals the whole fact to him. "In this way I have gone far from my husband and I am not finding him." That car driver says when he listens her, "Really? First of all they call you, then disallowed him. How is this possible? This child clearly requires even more protection." That person's conversation was also being felt strange. He says, "I myself will drop him there again." John's wife says, "No, that place has exploded." That man says to her, "Keep quiet," and he throws her out of the car violently. John's wife starts screaming, "Where are you taking me, son?" She begins to ask help from the vehicle. Then he catches the sight of a group of teenagers who were singing and dancing there, thinking that world is going to be destroyed, so why don't they enjoy it? Then a fragment of comet is seen while falling down at a distance. It causes a large blast and silence falls upon the entire area. Because of his wife and son, John is frustrated. He then walks away from the location. After that he notices a pickup with a few passengers inside, and that truck was leaving to Canada.
John takes the ride on that truck expecting that he may get off finding his wife and son on the way, because the residence of John's wife's father is in Canada. John meets a boy in the truck. He asks him, "Do you know why has our government selected some special people?" "There is a cause behind it. My mother is a doctor and she has revealed it to me. Because you also know that world will be destroyed after falling the comet. All the building will be turned into dust. And it is obvious as the things will begin to come on its routine, then the erection of the building will be required again. You are construction engineer as you told, the government will need you." And John tells him, "Yeah, I was chosen." Then he reveals the issues which aroused and I came out of the airline. He also tells that my wife and son have lost. First of all, I have to search for them. But some people capture him there. They say, "Accompany us immediately because you have chosen by the government." They had not faced any trouble if John's wife or son did not leave the place. But John was falling impact on them because he was the construction engineer. A great dispute starts among them. They are forcefully saying to John, "Come along with us." Then that boy also comes who met John in the truck, and he rescues them, but he himself loses his life. Contrarily, that man is also shown driving the car who had abducted John's son in his car, throwing his wife outside. There is also his wife with him. He says to his wife, "Look, we had not been chosen but we worked craftily. Now this kid has a wristband which represents as he belongs to selected family. We can go to the sheltering place with his help." Now that worst man takes his wife, he reaches the evacuation site lifting John's kid. And he tells the officers of that place, "Look, he is our son, he has wristband but our wristbands have lost in hurry. You are checking the situation here, kindly allow us to board the plane." Then John's son begins to cry and says, "Uncle, they are not my parents. They have abducted me, save me." The police officers understand the trick, and they bring the child in the medical camp with them. On the other side, John's wife is very upset. Fortunately, someone gives her lift. She also reaches the evacuation site. She is telling the appearance of her son. Then an officer brings her into the nursing camp. A doctor tells them as they reach the medical camp, "Don't be upset. We have injected insulin to your son. He is secure here." Then John's wife embraces her son. There John's wife requests attendant, "Will you take me to my father's house?" She tells the complete address. Attendant says, "Don't take tension. A bus leads to that place. I will arrange a seat for you in it." John's wife is satisfied, and they reach that place by bus. Now John's wife is at a little distance of her father's residence. On the other side, John somehow reaches the residence of his father-in-law. He asks them going there, "Has my wife come here?" Then his father-in-law says, "No, my son. Had she been expected to come here?" They are all very disturbed. John says to him, "The stress is going to be increased because comet will soon crash the earth. What will happen if they did not reach here on time?" Then John's father-in-law says to him, "Keep quiet. It is all your mistake. I had made you responsible for my daughter and grandson. Why have you not brought them with you?" Now John sits in worried condition and he's praying as may his wife and son remain safe. Then he receives a call of his wife. She tells that we are at a little distance of the house and we are arriving soon. Then John says, "I come out of the house. Come soon." At last John glimpses his wife and son. Being excited, they embrace one another. They gratify as they are with one another and no one got any harm.
Now John tells his wife that some of the fragments of comet are going to fall here, but they had built a bunker in the Greenland. We will have to move there instantly. Now we have the vehicle. All get ready. When John's wife says to her father, "Accompany us," then his father replies, "No, my daughter, now I have grown old." It is sentimental scene, and John's wife is grieved hearing the words of her father, but she has to leave for John and her son. Now they drive to Greenland. Then the little fragments of comet begin to fall on the way, and the place was catching fire where they were falling. Moreover, the car was also exploding on which the comet's fragment was falling. In this way, there was a traffic issue everywhere, and there were also lying dead bodies there. They are stressed. John says to his wife, "Don't be panic. You need not lose the courage. We will have to show the courage for our son." He tells her, "Tonight last plane is departing from Canada to Greenland. Somehow you will have to board that aeroplane." Now they begin to drive their car speedily, but it is too late. The last plane of Canada was on runway, and it is nearly going to take a flight. Then John drives his car before the aeroplane. Then pilot gets off and he argues him, saying, "Have you gone mad?" He says to him, "I don't know about others, but we are the survivors here. I plead you, get me in the plane. I have a young son, and we were among the chosen families." Pilot takes pity on them, and he brings them in the airplane. At last their airplane had reached near Greenland, but it had not landed yet. The fragment of the comet falls on the ground at a little distance. It causes a great explosion, and its generated firestorm reaches to the plane. So their plane is crashed with the mountain. Plane's cockpit was damaged and jet engine had stopped. Fortunately, it did not catch fire, nor any passenger got any harm. Now they all people begin to wave their hands because there is military ahead, and military approaches to save their lives. They immediately take them to the emergency sheltering, which was a bunker. That time had approached when a great comet had fallen on this world. There is a great explosion outside, which brings about the world earthquake. A great bang is heard. The people in the bunker are also panicked. John embraces his family, and all memories bring to revive in his mind. He tells his family, "I have great affections for all of you." Then the silence rules everywhere. The world outside was badly devastated, but no such comet had remained which was nearly to fall, because last comet had fallen, creating a great destruction. Poisonous gases are spread everywhere, and all survivors are not allowed to step outside, because bunker had some facilities, including food. So they are kept safe in the bunker for a few months. Then the bunker door is unlocked as the world's atmosphere begins to restore. Coming outdoors, they see that the whole world has been demolished. They are informed these bunkers were built in remote locations throughout the planet, and some more people have also survived, like them, who will begin a new life together. And the movie completes on this scene. Thanks for watching.